Do you like fire with your blood or blood with your fire? Either way, HBO's planning to serve you up so much you might just puke later on this year. But until the main course, they're giving you an appetizer, just a little tease. And in this video, we're going to go through the teaser trailer for House of the Dragon Season 2 and break it down. So hold on to your dragon scales because we're riding bareback on this one, Rhaenyra Targaryen style.
Errors were made in the hours following King Viserys' death.
The opening scene shows Queen Rhaenyra Targaryen upset about what happened to her son being dragon food last year. And we also hear a voiceover of Otto Hightower saying that people made mistakes when King Viserys died. Now, don't believe he's talking about the new king being crowned. I think he's talking about the death of Luke. There's one bad thing you can do in Westeros, and that is be named a kinslayer. And that's what Aemon did when he killed Luke. So he won't have the support of the other High Lords or the people for his actions. And that is why I think Otto is upset. And that is why I think Otto's saying mistakes were made.
The war be fought. Many will die.
The next scene, we see King Aegon walking with his Kingsguard into King's Landing, most likely into his throne room. We see Daemon Targaryen grabbing his helmet and going off into battle. This is all about battle that it's gone so far that there's no coming back, so we must just fight this war. We see Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen's army, Otto Hightower and the Hightower army, the blacks and the greens, all getting ready for one big battle. Now, there's supposed to be 3 major battles in this season, unless they simplify it and cut some of the battles out or don't show you the whole battles in its entirety. And from what we can see, we see the Queen, Alicent Hightower, or should I say the Dowager Queen, since now that her son is the king, talking to her father, basically letting him know it's impossible to stop this. This has to happen, and the winner of this war will sit the Iron Throne. What they're trying to tell you so far in this trailer is that this season will focus on mainly war and death, and not just any type of war, dragon on dragon war, because when you can sit on a nuclear bomb and actually ride it, it's going to be casualties that the world has never seen.
And the victor will eventually ascend the throne.
Next, we see Criston Cole beheading a man most likely who did not agree with the ascension of Aegon on the Iron Throne. And we could see that the people that are there with him, his King's Guardsmen and the regular soldiers, now have the golden dragon of Aegon II as his sigil, which is the same thing that happens in the book. It's all because of his golden dragon. We also can see that he's very comfortable, shall we say, with his role as being the king. He has his own new little marble for the council, and he's playing with it like he's a child, and he also has his father's cat's paw dagger. He's wearing the crown of Aegon the Conqueror, and then we see Rhaenyra with the crown of her father on her head. After that, it's followed by Alicent Hightower.
There is no war so hateful to the gods.
Not to be outdone by Criston Cole, we see Daemon Targaryen chopping somebody's head off himself. But the most important thing about this scene is what's behind him. If you look close, you can see those are red leaves. Red leaves are only on one type of tree, and that is a weirwood tree. When the Andals first arrived to Westeros, they believed that the children of the forest had the ability to spy on them and see through these weirwood trees, so they destroyed just about every weirwood tree down in the south. So most weirwood trees that you see now have to be in the north or beyond the wall. But there is one spot that holds a whole lot of weirwood trees, and that is the Isle of Faces. Most likely this is what's going on here at Daemon, that he's there at the Isle of Faces. Now, the Isle of Faces isn't that far from Harrenhal, so there's a good chance that Daemon Targaryen goes down the Harrenhal, takes over Harrenhal, and executes somebody by the weirwood trees, which would be kind of like the old Northway. We see Corlys Velaryon, and we also see Rhaenys, his wife, with Princess Rhaenyra at the painted table going over their war plan.
There's a war between kin.
Next, they show us a picture of the Iron Throne, but when the lightning flashes, we can clearly see the sigil of Aegon II, the golden dragon, right behind the throne. We also get a bunch of new sigils in this video. We can see two right here, House Rosby and House Starkworth. House Rosby is the one with the 3 red chevrons, and House Starkworth is the one with the lamb holding on to the goblet. Now in the books, these two houses were both supporters of the blacks in the beginning. And I do mean the beginning. But in the world of Westeros, there is always turncloaks, and we shall see when that actually happens. Before we continue, if you like this video and you've watched it this far, please subscribe to the channel because I'll be dropping a lot more House of the Dragon videos. Let's continue. We then see Alicent Hightower looking like the Lady of the Lake in her all-white gown. Ain't nothing white about this woman. Nothing at all when it comes down to white being good, because she ain't nothing but bad. After that, we see 2 dragons stay facing off. It looks like one is gold and the other one looks like a little bit of silver. So without a shadow of a doubt, the gold one is the dragon of Aegon Targaryen II, which they say is the most beautiful dragon that ever existed. Early in the trailer, we seen a glimpse of what looked like it could be sea smoke. If that's the case, then that means this has to be Adam of Hole, who is the person who is a dragon seed that does claim this dragon. Now, what happens is Rhaenyra and them want more dragon riders, so they look out for dragon seeds, and dragon seeds are nothing more than Targaryen bastards who have dragon blood and the ability to ride dragons. Adam of Hole is one of them, and he claims sea smoke.
No war so bloody as a war between dragons.
As the war drums beat, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the biggest battle of this season, the one that they're most likely showing us clips from, will be the Battle of Rook's Rest. In the Battle of Rook's Rest, there are many deaths on both sides, major deaths, and one person is, how can we say, just postponed and stuff like that. And I will not go into details exactly of who these people are, what's going to happen. I want you to be surprised when these things happen. And after that, we see Baela actually on Dragonback doing something in the war. Now, in the books, he leaves them out mostly, George R. R. Martin. But maybe, and I don't know if they would actually do this, but it is a Targaryen situation, so it's quite possible that she could get the Nettles role. If they didn't want to cast Nettles, maybe they give her the Nettles role. It would make sense seeing her in battle if that's the case, but we'll have to wait to find out. We see Vhagar, the biggest dragon of them all, in battle, and this is going to be a rough out. Anyone or any dragon that has to take this dragon on, because Aemon and his dragon can literally take on 3 different dragons. If you don't know, the older a dragon gets, the harder its scales get and the harder its fire gets. So there is no dragon at all that can stand up to this dragon one-on-one, even 2-on-1. It may take 2 to 3 dragons to kind of mess with this dragon. And this is the final scene that I'm going to show, and this is no doubt blood and cheese. Blood and cheese will be one of the worst things that we see this season, and it will happen early. I will not go into detail and spoil for you exactly what's going to happen with blood and cheese, but I promise you, when it is over and you actually see this, you will be heartbroken from this scene. That is my trailer breakdown. Please put in the comment section anything that I missed out and anything you want to talk about. I'll be doing a call-in live stream later on tonight about the trailer, so make sure you subscribe and click that bell so you can be notified every time I drop a new video. Hopefully, see you live tonight. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.